So apart from the a paint respray and the current swapped engine in, she's pretty much 95% original. The original owner really looked after her very well, and I was actually able to get in touch with him not long after I bought the car. Must have been about 2018 or 2019. I wrote a letter to an address that I had that came with some of the paperwork for the registration details. It was also a for sale ad from 2002. It's like a printout from an early version of eBay, I guess, or Bring a Trailer for those Americans. And it was basically for sale in 2002 by the original owner and an address. So I wrote a letter to them and managed to, and struck luck basically. The original owner, elderly gentleman, was 95 and got replies from his son and daughter-in-law. And both his sons had learned to drive in this car, and fair to say they were pretty surprised to hear from it, or to hear about it, knowing that it turned up in Australia and that I was able to get in touch with them. So I've sent them some photos, and I keep them updated via the Instagram account. And they were all very impressed with the way it is. Like I said, very original. Front seat's been recovered, and the paint job on the outside. Most of the other things is all sort of date coded correct stuff. All the parts, all the panels. I don't think there's ever been an accident. They're pretty lucky, station wagons were generally the workhorse of the family. This one has absolutely lived that life. By my reckoning, 280,000 miles on it at the moment. And that stands up with the paperwork that I received when I bought it. It had 252,000 miles on it when it was sold in 2002. And it was the family wagon. Basically, they took it over Southern California and all over the States as their holidays. But obviously really well looked after. The original vinyl on the seats, original carpet inside. Really quite lucky to have such a really neat time capsule. I plan on doing very little to it. I'll keep it as stock as possible. That's pretty much what its thing is. It's it's a stock family wagon type thing. So there is another one of these that I know of in Australia. I think only 4 of the 1966 Fairlane wagons. So there's 2 of the 500 models. There's 1 Squire and 1 base Fairlane model that I'm aware of. So it makes them pretty uncommon, right? So it definitely picks up some comments and things. A lot of Aussies, because we Australians never had Fairlane wagons over here, but there's a lot of stuff that's similar, a lot of parts and interchangeable. Kind of interchangeable. You could put a front clip on from an Australian Fairlane onto this car, and it would fit. And quite a lot of other similarities there. But obviously most of the similarities are with the Mustang in terms of running gear and things like that. Panels for this car and glass, not so much. Very almost impossible to find in Australia. But again, luckily, all the glass is in really good shape. I believe it to be all the original glass except the front windscreen. And just a true testament to the original owner.